I ran 12th and Porter's open mic for a little while too when Dan Tashian wasn't doing it. Came to Nashville for music. I graduated from Vanderbilt. I started running writers nights and I loved Nashville. Towards the end of me being there, I won best local songwriter 2 years in a row. My writers night was winning best local writers night, and my band was winning best local band.
I feel alright. I feel alright tonight.
The week Steve Earle got out of jail, he came and played my writers night.
Why your writer's night? Why not somewhere else?
Because I worked with Custer and Logan, which was a great duo, and they were both in his band. So they were coming to play my writers night and they invited him. Brandy Carlisle. I ran the writers night in London. Ed Sheeran played my writers night a couple times. I was very, very picky. I used to have a saying that I would tell people, because I wanted the night to have an audience and not matter who was playing. So I said, if I book somebody who sucks, I'll buy you a beer. To the whole audience. So every week people would come just to see who was playing and not because of who was playing. All the top writers were doing it. Dave Berg would play regularly, Georgia Middleman, Eric Schwartz, like I said, Brandy Carlisle. Gillian Welch played a bunch. Fred Wilhelm. Trying to think of people who are writing now. Eric Halbig was my guitar player.
Away from my reflection, smoking mirrors in both directions.
We always had a band behind that would play with the artists, which was great because there's so many great studio people who could just pick up songs. I started at the Vanderbilt Days Inn, and that place was called Bogies. Then I moved it to Wolfie's, which was downtown. And then I did it at Graham Central Station, Ireland's. It moved around. But most of the time, I'd say for a good 5 or 6 years, it was Wolfie's.
Did I ever go to that writer's night?
You did play it a couple times, yeah. I ran 12th and Porter's open mic for a little while too when Dan Tashian wasn't doing it. Daniel ran it most of the time, but he would take like 6-month breaks and not run it. He would get sick of it. And whenever he did that, I hosted it.
You know what my version of foreplay is? Brace yourself, darling. All right. This is Edwina Hayes. Put your hands together.
You were so humble. So it's interesting to hear that you were very picky, but that really was the smart way to go. There were so many people to pick from. But
If it was just an open mic that wasn't curated, especially in Nashville, you end up having people who are, you just can't listen to. No offense. I mean, I think everybody has to go, and there are open mics for those people. But this was something you had to be invited to play at. I started running writers' nights in New York, and you just don't want to listen to a 19-year-old kid doing their 10-minute Bob Dylan impression. It's just, God bless them. A lot of people start that way and get where they're going, but it's just not worth it.
you got best songwriter. What did you get that for?
It was very funny because I wasn't writing hit songs for anybody. I was putting out my own album. And by then, Radio Lightning was playing. I had a song called Adventures of a Plastic Bag. That was one of the top 50 songs that year at Radio Lightning.
You know just what you've got, or maybe you know what it's not. Yellow and blue, oh man, I was so green. What could we do with the air that's grown stale in between?
Beverly, my writers night had a pretty good reputation, and Nashville scene was voting it the best writers night. So I think she came to it when it was getting some press, and I was getting some press, and I think she came to see it just because whoever was she was good at co-writing with people and knowing the who's and whens and wheres of Nashville. So she came to see it, and I had written a song called Give a Damn.
Yeah.
And it was a very political song. It was very unlike Beverly Ross, but she heard me sing that song and just loved that song. And had me come over to her place and she helped me rewrite it and made it a much better song. Which amazed, you don't think, I knew what you knew of her back then, Lollipop Lollipop is not exactly a magnum opus. But she was a brilliant songwriter, and she took a song that I had written that was kind of mediocre and made it something that I ended up putting on an album.
There's a kid in a slum with a thumb on a TV clicker, killing time that he can't afford. Cut the yards, cut the schools, cut the rules, let the mess get thicker. What will those eyes